But I think knight e3 is coming anyway.
Yes.
And the good thing about a knight e3 has another advantage on that square because the knight also protects the bishop.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, on c2. So there is, it's not only moving forward, but it stops rook c4, by the way. And rook c4 is another idea that rook c4, rook b4.
Yes.
And this move stops.
And maybe
both.
when we double rook, it's not work because
there is no direct threat if you double rooks because the knight is protecting the bishop anyway.
Yes. But what can I do? Maybe just double it. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
And black is just waiting.
Well, he's semi waiting. This type of position. But you see, white can already be thinking about different ideas,
Yes.
and sometimes even here you can consider d5.
Oh, d5.
Sometimes even here that this might be a good move. I don't like to rush with this move. I don't like to play it too quickly.
Yes.
But but here it could also be something to be concerned about. Maybe you could go something else. But
and here maybe my bishop can come back.
yeah, it's also can come back. Yeah, it's not it's also not bad.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, it's a good move. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
But go back for what?
Well, it's just saying, yeah, I'm going to move my bishop out of the way. You're not doing anything.
Yeah. So what's White's plan? How can White to improve her position?
Well, I think one thing that's possible is f3, and also d5. D5 is a typical move that you want to be aiming for.
f3 or d5?
Yeah, I mean f3 is a defensive move.
Yes.
But you can consider. Maybe you can even consider.
Yeah, because black cannot do something. So
Yeah, I don't think black can undertake anything very significant.
So white can improve her position slowly.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Maybe it's a little bit weakening f3. Maybe h3 is better here.
Yeah, h3.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe I know that if black play rook d2 c8, maybe I can come back the bishop.
Well, then rook c3 you need to be worried about.
Oh, rook c3, so not.
But I think look at d5 now. D5 now.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. So e5.
Because the point is, with the knight on e3, the knight on e3 covers the d5 square and also the f5 square.
Yes.
Importantly,
if I capture you, maybe you will play knight f5.
Well, I'm actually just wanted to take back
first.
take back, and then now my bishop is working very, very well on the diagonal, and knight f5 starts to become a serious concern.
Maybe sometimes. Okay. Oh, here Zhu played
queen g5. Yeah.
Yes, queen g5. Okay, I think this move is logical because this move let her queen leave and leave the e file.
Yes, yes, that's right. That's right. That's actually.
So maybe you cannot play. Maybe you cannot play like d5 or e5.
Yeah, well, e5 you certainly can't play because that's checkmate in one move. So that's the key point about that. Well, there are a number of points, but you're moving the queen off the e file. So d5 is no longer a concern. I would be thinking about, because I would be looking at rook e3 again there, you know.
Rook e3?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But now the point is, I want both of my pieces on that square. I want my rook on e3 and I want my knight on e3. And so I'm not entirely sure about that. But I would certainly be thinking about rook e3.
So maybe your knight can jump over the rook. Okay.
Yeah. It would be great if you could do that.
Yeah, rook e3 and maybe rook g3.
Rook e3 and rook g3. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's possible. And there is another idea, actually. Now that your queen is no longer coming to
b4.
for b4, rook d1, just a simple centralizing.
So the rook can leave.
Yeah. So if we just go back instead of rook e3,
Okay.
rook d1 maybe.
Yes. So here you you also threat the d5. So maybe I should play just bishop b7. Just come back.
Yeah, possibly, but then I'm just building up knight e3, and
Knight e3.
yeah, and I'm just building up my position, improving my position.
Yes. So I don't know what can I do.
Yeah, that I think is the problem with this.
Wait a moment. Here, can I play b5?
Yeah, possibly. You might be able to do that.
Woohoo.
And then we have to think about some tactics. Maybe h4.
Oh, h4. Oh.
Or maybe even
d5?
d5 and then a takes b5 maybe. You know, I'm trying to deflect the okay, let's try h4.
h4. So should I take
No, you've got to take this one.
Okay.
A takes b5.
And bishop b7?
Something like that. And maybe that's to your advantage because now you are no longer tied down like
and
you
my
were a
knight
minute ago.
can go.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. Still a complicated position, and
Yes.
I you know, but maybe that exchange is to your advantage.
I think this position black can feel
Happier than a minute ago. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So maybe not play bishop, not play rook b2 d1. I prefer rook e3.
Yeah.
It seems good.
Yeah.
Because I like rook g3.
Yes,
I want to attack the
yeah,
queen.
you like rook g3 and you want to play d5 and then checkmate, don't you? I know you.
Yeah.
A very sneaky person.
No. Oh.
I'm going to be very careful if I play you with such moves.
Yeah. And Gorashkina played
Knight e3. I think
Yeah.
it's a good move.
knight e3.
It's a good move.
Oh, so the knight took the square for
Yeah.
the rook.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
And here's a question: can Black play just like maybe Rook B8 to protect the B6 pawn?
It's very, very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. You can.
Okay, why?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I find this sort of chess very ugly, you know. And maybe first you should not do this.
Okay.
Because you might get in trouble with D5. D5 might be a very strong move, for example.
Okay. And okay, it looks not good.
So if you take, I take with the pawn.
And
then if you
take,
can I play F4? I don't know.
Maybe I will lose my pieces.
Then you're going to lose your pieces.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It looks.
Looks like you've lost a piece. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I only can go back.
Yeah, you go back, and then I'll play knight F5.
Oh,
So you can get, you know, you can get in big trouble very, very quickly here. So, for example, if knight F6, then Rook E3, and suddenly this starts to become...
Oh, Rook G3 is coming.
Yeah, so in fact you get both moves in, knight E3 and Rook G3, and this becomes very dangerous.
Yes.
So the position can, you know, it can explode very, very fast if Black is not careful. But an improvement on that idea, Rook B8, which I said looks very ugly, is to play knight F6 directly. Knight F6, F3, and then to play Rook B8.
Oh, here.
So that's an improvement on the other.
This looks better.
It's a lot safer because the other one, it looks like you're going to get wiped out. I don't know. It looks like ugly chess to me. Looks like very ugly chess, but...
But Black can hold the position, right?
Yeah. I think... you know, this is one thing. You know, I'm a dinosaur. I come from a different age, so I was there when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Dinosaur?
Those animals from millions of years ago.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you know,
I know that.
so I'm a, you know, in chess terms, I am a dinosaur. And we used to have ideas like, you know, ugly. You know, something is ugly. And nowadays, people don't care whether something's ugly. It's just a question is, does it work or does it not work?
Yes.
And this is the change. It's a philosophical change in how people think.
Yeah.
So all of those moves that people of my generation, they would just say, no, that's an ugly move. Yeah. Nowadays, they just don't bother because if the engine says it's good, you know, they'll go for it anyway. So, the engines, they have two effects. I mean, they cut down the complexity of chess because the engines are so powerful, but they also they expand chess in a way because they show that many more things are possible than people imagined. You know, in the old days, there were very limited ideas, and now you see, in fact, you could do this, or you could do that, or you could do that. You have a choice.
So if the computer is good at us to develop the chess?
Well, it shows the possibilities of you know, what human beings previously they didn't think about. Nowadays, okay, people learn very, very fast because
Yeah.
the computer is a very, very strong learning tool.
Yes.
And we're using these learning tools. You can use your learning tool in a very stupid way, or you can use it in a very intelligent way. You can get it to help you.
Yes.
But let's see. So we've got some moves. So bishop A8 has been played.
Yes, it's ugly.
That's the sort of move. Yeah. Well, do you know what I think is the whole point of a move like bishop A8 is she's struggling to find a plan. That is, the basic issue is
Yeah.
she is finding it difficult to understand where her pieces should go.
But why she played bishop A8,
Well,
not bishop B7?
Well, because the on B7 it's exposed.
Yes.
Queen takes B6 at some point, and it will be attacking it.
Yes.
So on A8, the bishop is protected.
Okay.
But now it looks to me like rook D1, rook B to D1. So this was the idea we had before, and now B5 is not possible actually. So your very, very nice idea of B5 is no longer possible.
Yeah.
And the rook has done its job. It has completely done its job on the on the B file.
Yes.
And
Maybe like stop the queen to B4.
It stopped that, and now white is gradually improving the coordination of her pieces, and she's looking forward to break in the center. D5 is actually like such a standard break. And you have these old games of Boris Spassky, playing with this D5 and so on, some, whatever, Spassky Petrosyan and these are typical ways of playing these positions. But, white can slowly improve the position. And this queen is out on G5, and what's it doing? What's it doing there? She's played another move. She's played F3. I think it's a good move.
Yes, this move is logical because of your queen is at G5 and your queen and your bishop is.
Exactly.
Look at it
yeah,
here.
exactly.
So
yeah,
I played F3.
And it's it for the moment it just holds the position, bolsters the center, protects the E4 pawn, and it.
And
In China, you're good at walls, aren't you? You're good at building walls in
Great
China.
Wall.
Okay, so this is the Russian wall. The Great Russian Wall. The pawns on G2, F3, E4, and to keep out the enemy bishop on A8 in particular.
Yes. So here the bishop looks not good.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Donald Trump, he also likes walls, but Mexican walls. But I think the Chinese are better with their walls.
Okay. There's a lot of words like Berlin word, not
Berlin.
Berlin. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's not much left of the Berlin Wall. There was.
Okay. But
Just some souvenir bits of it left.
okay, but Great Wall is
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
So welcome to to trip for the Great Wall.
In fact, last year, my daughter was in China, and she went to visit the Great Wall. So she took the well. It's quite interesting because we've got a Russian and a Chinese player here. That my daughter took a train from Moscow. She took the Trans-Siberian Railway
Yes.
and then came to Beijing. And visited the Great Wall. So I've seen all the photos from
Okay.
from last year.
And I will tell you something very interesting. I have never been to the Great Wall.
Oh, shame on you! Even I've been to the Great Wall. You know, I'm a tourist. You know, I've been to the Great. No, shame on you. Actually, I'll tell you something else, which is fascinating. I have travelled quite a lot. You know, I've been to 129 different countries.
Whoa.
So you know, I've been around, and it's like very often I've been in some place, and I would say to the local people there, you know, I'd like to see this, and they say, yeah, but I've never seen it. And, you know, it's like the most famous thing there, you know, and the number of times I'm in a place and the locals have not seen the most famous thing,
Yes.
which is around.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Because we all know that's a very famous words, but we think maybe we can go there later.
Yeah,
No.
any time, and that's the
Yeah.
problem, that you can sometimes you can miss it because you can go on any day, any single day. You're not in a hurry, and
Yes.
well, you shouldn't go your whole life without seeing this.
Yeah, okay, I will go there.
Maybe on the next FIDE.
Great Wall.
So that's it, the Great Russian Wall. G2, F3, E4. Boris Spassky. Many years ago, I was working with Boris Spassky,
Whoa.
and he used to talk about that, you know, and you know how effective that was to put the pawns G2, F3, E4 against the fianchettoed bishop, you know, against
Oh,
you know. So
he's good at it.
yeah, he was very specifically talking about this idea.
Ah.
So if black plays G6 and bishop G7, you should always play put D4, C3, and B2. You know,
Okay,
so
yeah,
you
I
put
got
you
it.
put the wall.
Yes. Okay, and Drew played rook c7,
Yeah.
and she wants to double her rook.
Yep. Yep.
So, what can white to do? Maybe just move her bishop to d3.
Yeah, I think that will come at some point. I think bishop d3 will come. I think, you know, what we're seeing is a sort of slow and steady maneuvering by white. White is gradually, very, very gradually improving her position. It's not like, you know, but the knight is good on e3. I really like the knight on
Yes.
on e3 there, controlling a lot of squares. But I think once the knight is on e3, you want to prepare
d5.
d5. So a typical way to play would be to put the rook, first of all, rook d1. I like rook d1 now.
Rook d1 again, and d5.
Yeah, and now I'm guessing after rook c7, black wants to play
Here?
Yeah, rook c8. And now something like bishop d3.
Bishop d3.
So we move the bishop away
Yes.
from that exposed c file. There was no immediate threat, but we're just moving it. And now there are these ideas, these threats. We're starting maybe bishop b5 and then d5. Things like this. These could be things which are a little bit difficult for black to deal with. So bishop can now come into d5. In fact, if white exchanges, by the way, with bishop b5, bishop c6, you exchange the bishops, then d5 becomes very effective, very forceful.
Yes. Now, if you play d5, maybe the word is not completely right. Yeah.
Sorry?
I mean, if you play d5, maybe I will e takes d5.
Yeah, you're not ready immediately, but you're preparing it. You're getting closer and closer to coming forward, and sometimes even the bishop can just come back to f1. Sometimes even here, just as a safe move, and then you're looking for this break.
So can black play maybe queen f6 to tie the diagonal?
Yeah, you can, but always knight g4 can be played. So e5 can come with tempo, probably not such a good idea, but knight g4 more dangerous, I think, much more dangerous. So those are small, I mean, and also queen f6. You know what the thing about black's moves, when you start playing like that,
Yes.
it's not really, they're not plans. They're like single moves. You know what I mean? They're the single moves. Then they're not part of any overall
not move by move, just a single one.
They're not part of this whole concept, this great idea. It's like one move at a time.
Yes.
And normally, it's better to have some plans.
Yes.
I mean, of course,
Indeed.
You have to. Sometimes you change your plans because your opponent does something you don't expect. You sometimes have to alter your plans.
Yes.
But you can have an overall plan. And here, I don't see a lot of
Plan for black?
No. No. Actually, now, is it possible? I'm just wondering. She's gone bishop d3. Is knight e5? Is that possible?
Knight e5?
It's my first idea.
Whoa.
Knight e5. Oh, and in fact, oh my God. My engine is getting very excited about it. I mean, this is not.
Ooh,
This is not difficult, by the way. I mean, I've just glanced over, but exactly my first idea, just even without concentration, is that after bishop d3, knight e5 is a serious problem. So after knight e5, in fact, we have very few. Well, in fact, we have no choice. So knight e5 is forcing. So we have to take that.
Take it. Yes.
Yeah, nothing else, because there are some little tricks. Because if you play something like f4, which doesn't work, knight takes d3 attacks the queen.
Yes.
So I mean that doesn't. Yeah, well, queen takes f4 is also possible. So that's okay. So you have to take after knight e5,
And rook,
Rook takes
d3.
rook d3. Now queen takes b6.
b6. Rook
c3.
c3.
Yeah.
Yes. And can I just take the pawn? Or can I play queen a5?
5. Yeah, good question. Good question. I'll move my bishop.
Okay.
Bishop
c6.
c6.
And I will move away my knight.
But where?
Where? G4 or
G4, H5 will be played.
G4 H. The F3 pawn is missing, right?
Yeah, that's the point. So knight
And-
here, rook takes f3,
Oh,
and suddenly this starts to be extremely dangerous.
yes.
Because okay, white has theoretically one pawn advantage, but this is a huge initiative.
Yes.
Rook c2 is coming.
Rook e2.
No, black has got some ideas of rook c2.
Rook c2. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just yeah, and maybe h4 and h3 as well.
Yes. The king seems dangerous. White can.
White's king is in terrible trouble.
Yeah.
So I don't think. Well, this is very interesting because knight e5 is a completely obvious tactical blow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not. You know, sometimes we sit here in the studio, and you know, the engine might come up with some very complicated, difficult tactic. But this is actually, it's even the first move you consider.
Yes.
It's the first move you consider in a normal
I
game.
think the knight e5 is easy to
Absolutely.
find out.
Easy, and it's a question of some calculation. And maybe she's just not calculated well enough, because the whole point is that after maybe she's just forgotten about c3. I'll tell you what can happen. You know, sometimes people, they get carried away with some ideas.
Yes.
So let's suppose, I'm trying to understand what she may have missed. So let's have a look. Knight e5. Let's go through this variation again. D takes e, takes, queen takes b6, rook c3. Okay.
Maybe she has moved.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you can forget things like, you think about queen b8 check. Okay. And you can forget that this one can move back.
Yes. Oh, maybe. So, I just come back.
Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can do that. And now, well, queen takes e5 is better for black.
Yes.
Perhaps. Not so clear,
Here?
actually. Not so clear. Not so clear at all. So let me think about this. I'm trying to think. So queen b8 check. Yeah, you can actually just move your king. You can actually
King
just move.
h7.
Yeah,
Can I
queen takes bishop. Yeah, rook
Yeah.
takes e3, and your problem is that.
Oh, now you threat both rook
Rook
c2 and
yeah.
rook f3.
Yep.
And maybe queen e5.
Yeah.
It looks black has advantage.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think Zhu can.
No,
can
she will. She
found
can.
it out.
I think she can, and
She
she
can.
will. And
Yes, she
that's what
will.
I think. Yeah. You say it looks like an advantage for black. That's what I would say. It looks like an advantage. The engine here says decisive advantage, completely winning position.
Oh,
actually,
completely winning.
yeah. So actually, more than a piece advantage. You know,
It's a very big advantage.
yeah. So I will bet she's going to play it. She looks like she's getting excited. No.
No, what? Oh, what a pity. Oh, no. Why? Okay.
Queen b8 check was not a very good move, but I was just, you know, I'm trying to understand what Goryachkina
Yeah,
missed.
but okay. June missed 2.
But it's very odd. It's really very odd because knight e5 was literally the first move I thought of and thinking, hang on, you know.
Yeah.
And then I glanced over and it's immediately saying, you know, black is, you know,
Because you
clearly better, you know, after this.
Because you have you have good combination vision.
Well, it's not high level tactics. It's just you put the rook on d8, and you're looking immediately down the d file. So you know this is a geometric theme. You know, your rook's on d8, you're looking down the d file. So it's odd actually with the way that Goryachkina has played, because
Yes.
you notice how she played very, very carefully.
Yes.
That
To
earlier on,
move away.
earlier on, when the rook came to the c file, she moved her bishop away. Okay, to d3, and then when some other things happened, she moved her bishop to c2, actually out of the way altogether.
Yes.
And now suddenly she makes this very, very loose move,
Yes.
and with obvious tactical possibilities there, and she doesn't find it.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
But both of them are missed this move.
yeah. So rook dc8 has been played, and
Just to follow her plan.
yeah.
And maybe black think that let me see, what can you do? So
Strange, because I think that's normally the sort of thing that she would spot.
yeah. The knight e5 is easy to find out.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, we're sitting here in the studio. It's always easy for us.
yes.
And she got there, and you're not playing this match. Why that?
Yeah.
So she obviously did some things right, you know. That's a
Yes. When we on the board, we maybe feel some press, right? So we make choice different at we sit here.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
In fact, nothing can prepare you for the pressure of playing in a World Championship match.
Yeah.
You know, I played World Championship match when I was 28 years old, And of course, I was an experienced player, played in many tournaments and so on, and some of them with high tension. But the level of pressure in a World Championship is just that much higher. It really is, because you have a feeling that people are looking at you from around the world. It's slightly different here. It's an odd feeling because you go in the playing hall, it's very quiet and there's hardly anybody there.
Yes.
But when I played, it was in a hall full of people and spectators.
And what's your feeling?
It was just it took me several games to get used to what I was doing, because you can think about it beforehand, but unless you experience it, it's very difficult to prepare yourself. Yeah. So you expect mistakes. You do expect mistakes, but let's look at this, because this has come. I don't think this is a difficult tactical blow at all. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me that, whatever the evaluation was saying, black was doing very, very well indeed. When you're sat down there, you don't have that advantage of knowing that. But it just looks as if, it completely frees your position.
Yeah.
Intuitively, you should understand that this is it. This is the moment that I'm opening up the lines for my rooks. Mm-hmm. I've been tied down, actually, for the first part of the game, and now is the moment I suddenly come forward and I throw off the shackles and I'm free. Yes. And I'm on the attack. Yes. Or at least on the initiative. You're pushing it. So it's odd, because when you are, when you're a little bit tied to the defense, you should uncomfortable. You should be looking for these chances to break out.
Yes. To get free.
And it's not hidden. It's obvious, actually.
Yes.
So, curious. Very, very curious. Still, the position is not that brilliant for white. Mm-hmm. You can play. I want to put my rook on d1. I still want to put my rook on d1.
Want to put d1?
Yeah, that's.
And here, can black put her rook to c3?
Yeah. Rook c3, and now I think bishop a6 is annoying.
Bishop a6. Oh.
It's a little tactic there. Rook takes e3, bishop takes c8.
And
so rook c7, and now we can play something like maybe queen d2 just to protect the knight.
Okay.
Yeah. I think just this position, the black coordination is not
bad.
It's rather bad.
Yes.
Rather bad.
Yeah. The two rook seems
well, they're protecting
strange.
each other. They're protecting each other, but they're sort of
move.
Yeah, that's it. They're paralyzed, actually.
Yeah, they cannot move. It's strange.
I mean, it is deceptive, because normally, you say rooks belong on open files.
Yeah.
And you've got doubled rooks on an open file, but they're tied up. They are okay. You can play rook a3, but then
Okay,
you,
maybe
then
just
bishop b5,
bishop b5, and then maybe I will.
knight c4 can
Yes.
come. Yeah, and this is very good.
Yeah.
So just strategically, the position is very favorable, I would say, for white.
Yeah. So here, white has a slightly advantage, right?
Definitely, definitely. So she's done something else. She's played bishop a6.
Oh.
I just need to.
And here, if black play bishop b7, maybe white will exchange the bishop and play like d5? Or what?
I'm not so sure. It's an odd move. I would have kept the bishop on a8 actually. So she's played bishop b7, has she? I'm guessing. No, what's she done? She moved a rook.
She moved her rook?
That's a very strange.
Maybe rook b8?
Very strange move.
We cannot see that. Maybe it's
It looks like rook b8, isn't it?
yes, it looks like rook b8.
Yeah, I can't see. We've got a problem with our feed here. I'm hoping our technician, who is, maybe you can have a word with him. We've got a problem with no, she played bishop.
Bishop b7.
Ah,
and
she
the-
played
and the
bishop b7.
exchange.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, okay, it's coming. It's slow. Our
Maybe a little bit delayed.
yeah, it certainly is. So, I'm not so sure that that was great because, I mean, just strategically, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll explain to you very, very simply why I think that is a bad idea. How have we been playing with white? How have we been doing this with white? We erected the Great Wall of Russia.
Yeah.
G2,
We just do the work
F3, E4 against the bishop on
at,
A8.
A8.
So you nullify the bishop, you make that bishop useless, completely useless on A8.
Yes.
And then you
now
exchange it.
Yeah.
So this is incomprehensible to me that you play against a piece,
then you exchange.
and then you exchange it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a very, very illogical way of playing.
Yes. Maybe she just want to push the d5, so she exchanged the bishop.
Maybe, yeah.
But is that d5?
D5, knight c5 can be played. Knight
Yeah.
c5 is a good response.
Maybe d5 isn't have much energy like
No,
her.
no, no.
Like her image.
No, she played, I think, yeah. I think she played quite nicely for a time, actually very nicely. And then bishop d3 is just a mistake.
Yes.
And this, it's hard to understand what is the idea, because she's simplified. And again, right at the beginning of the game, when we went into this semi-Tarrasch, we were saying that in general, white wants to keep the pieces on,
Yes.
unless there is a clear reason
Yes.
to exchange, and there is no clear reason to exchange. So this is a poor
Yes.
idea.
This decision is not good.
Yeah. One thing I should say is, I mean, we sit here and we criticize the players. We're saying this is a mistake, this is all a mistake. Actually, we have the highest respect for these players because it is so much more difficult when you are in there trying to play. I mean, we're trying to analyze it, to understand it, to reach the objective proof of get the objective proof of how is the position. Whereas, when we say that this isn't a good move, we don't mean these are bad players. They're very, very strong players. But I think there have been some clear inaccuracies, and more than an inaccuracy, actually. Bishop d3, knight e5. But she's made it too easy. She's made it way too easy now for black, Goryachkina.
Yes.
So she's let it slide.
And I think maybe here black feel much more comfortable.
Yeah. So queen b2. Well, that's a good move. That is a good move. I like that move.
So, what this move want to do?
Well, I think sometimes you just want to go f4.
f4, okay. Just push the pawn.
Sometimes h4.
Oh, h4.
Yeah, but I would prefer f4, f5.
Yeah, it seems good.
And there's another thing as well. Sometimes also rook b5 makes more of a sense.
Rook b5. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So this move makes...
it's coordination. It's control.
Yeah.
You know, with that. But the problem with that exchange of pieces of the bishops is that there are some weak squares behind white's pawns. You know how it is that and we were talking about it on another game, you advance your pawns, but you cannot move your pawns backwards.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. So they go forward, and sometimes behind them you leave these weaknesses. So the knight on e3 is covering some of these squares, but now black can take control of this c file, I think, very comfortably.
So
I'm expecting rook c7
rook
for
c7.
sure.
Okay. And maybe I will just play f4.
Yeah, and then you have to go back.
Go
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
E7 or
E7,
F6?
E7. I think if you go to f6, I'll play e5 anyway. Actually, I want
E5
to.
and f5.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
And here, can I play
Yep.
f5?
Yeah, you can. But it's not clear exactly what you're doing with this. Maybe rook c3 or something like that. That's,
Just to push and
yeah,
scare my opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here, if white plan to play f4, f5, then makes sense why she want to exchange the bishop.
Yeah.
Because she want to push the pawn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's true. But
So-
it doesn't feel like it's so dangerous. It doesn't feel that this is very, very scary
Yeah.
option.
I think this position is very important because both of them have a little mistake, and then they are just sink and maybe stuck at that. So it's
So she's retreated with her queen.
queen d8.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
So it's a prophylaxis.
Correct. Yeah. You've got that word now.
Okay.
Do you know who used to talk about, do you know which of the great chess players always used to talk about prophylaxis?
Uh,
I'll test you on your knowledge of this.
yeah, yeah, Karbov?
No, well, he used it, but
Maybe
Nimzovich was
Botwinick?
Nimzovich was the guy who used to
Okay.
Yeah, Nimzovich was writing about prophylaxis, so that was one of his great ideas in his book My System,
I have that book.
in Chinese.
Yes.
So what's the Chinese word for prophylaxis, do you know?
It's called 预防.
Okay, and that's it. Okay. Well, of course, it was written in German, not originally. So.
So here, if white play f4, maybe black can play knight f6.
Yes, that is the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly the idea. Yeah.
So maybe I will play rook d1.
Yeah, could be.
Use my e rook d1 like that. Maybe.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. But again, I think the rook is coming into c3.
Yeah. Now?
Even now. Yeah.
And can I play d5?
You can.
But
It doesn't look very dangerous. Queen c7 even could be played there. It doesn't feel like this is a.
Yes.
It's not obvious what white is doing here, and Queen c5 is coming. I mean, and again we're talking about the more pieces that are exchanged, somehow the better it's looking for black.
Yes, and here black's coordination as well.
Yes.
So here, what will she do?
To come back, I'll talk again about these strategic ideas, long-term strategic ideas. So we spoke about the outside passed pawn. We spoke about that right at the beginning. So
Yes.
at the moment, white has white is controlling the pawn break,
Yeah.
with b5.
Yeah.
But she's gone rook d1, as you anticipated.
I'm good at it.
Oh, you're very good. In fact, I've got to take my hat off to you and congratulate you on yesterday's game. The second game, because you correctly predicted that the game would be drawn in 40 moves. So that was an absolutely spot-on prediction.
Yeah.
I should ask you to invest on the stock exchange for me with such an accurate prediction like that. That was fantastic. But we were talking about that, the outside pass pawn. And the reason why it's so dangerous is that if you can imagine a position like this, again, you start to let's say, take away the major pieces, the rooks, the queens, and so on. Then if black ever gets in b5 and gets a passed pawn,
Okay.
the white king is very, very far from covering the pawn, and that's actually the real advantage. That you know, it makes it very difficult to stop it because your king is so far away from it. The more pieces that are exchanged,
Yes.
if black,
in the pawn's ending, then it's maybe black will win.
yes, yeah. Not like this when they're when the black pawns are crippled. But if b5 comes, you know, then it's very often winning with an outside pass pawn.
Because of black's king must go there to stop the pawn, and black will sacrifice the pawn, and then the king, black's king, to go to the king side quickly.
The center, the king side quickly. Yes, yeah, exactly. So knight of 6 has been played. That's a little bit of a passive move. I mean, that's a defensive move. Really.
We see Zhu always do the defense, not attack.
In this match, a little bit, she's been a bit uncharacteristically defensive. I don't think of her as being a defensive player, actually.
Yes.
But somehow she's been, in this match, she's been, so far, we've only had two games, 2.5 games. She has been a little bit timid. You know,
I feel that. D5.
Yeah, d5, and this is, I think, not a bad move.
Maybe they E takes d5 and E takes d5?
No, I think she wants knight 6. Oh,
knight
no,
takes?
e5 is the move, of course.
Oh, yeah, e5. And then take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually very, very nice.
Yes. So here, maybe cannot take the pawn.
No, I don't think so, because that's extremely unpleasant. So d5.
Move the queen.
Queen e8 is a good move.
Queen e8. Okay, to move the queen. But if you play queen e8, can I just...
No, just take on e6. I think this is...
Take and the queen take.
Well, now knight f5 starts to be
Oh.
dangerous, you know, there. And now we're looking at queen coming to g2. G3, excuse me, yeah, threatening mate. Knight is coming into d6. Maybe the rook is coming into d6.
Yes.
This is very dangerous position.
Yes.
So I think...
So d5, yes, maybe give some price.
Yeah.
And you play the rook d7 very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad.
So here maybe there's a big exchange that's coming.
Well, it's possible. It's possible. It looks better for white. To me, it just feels better. So, you know, I'd be looking at maybe d takes e6, maybe
D takes e6.
and queen a2. That's what I would be thinking about.
Oh, queen a2.
Yeah.
So here, black has two weakness. One is e6, and one is b6.
Yeah, and therefore you want to play rook c6, I guess.
Rook c6, yes. So here.
Maybe it's okay. Maybe you are active enough. It looks, it looks a bit ugly. In fact, here white would like to play a knight endgame. If white had a knight endgame, white would be very happy because your pawns are still crippled on the queen side.
Yes.
But somehow, black has arranged her pieces in a very active way. Rooks on the open files and so on.
Okay.
Now rook d7 is a good move. It's not fearing the pawn weaknesses.
Yes.
It's actually better to have the pawn on e6 because at least it keeps the white knight out of the game.
Yes.
So you get these isolated pawn. You get this isolated pawn on e6, but the isolated pawn controls some very, very important squares.
Yeah, so it's useful.
Yeah.
I think she will take the pawn. And maybe try to attack the weakness.
That is a very simple way of playing and maybe not bad. But there is another way which you could play, which is similar to the other idea, by the way, which is that, okay, if black plays e takes d5, I know it's white's move.
Yeah.
I know it's white's move, but if black plays e takes d5, white wants to play e5.
Yes. And I will...
and then maybe you can counter with d4, something like this. And then knight f5. We have some complication like this, but it may be possible to prepare it with rook d4, even.
Okay.
And just to double the rooks.
Yeah, now I get it. Yeah, because here, if black play take d5, then I can play
e5, and this is very strong.
And now the rook here is...
It's excellent.
It's block the pawn and prepare to play rook d1 to attack it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So the rook d4 is a good move.
It is a good move.
Yeah.
It is a good move. I think d takes c6 is too simple, and black has too many options.
Yes.
So white has to keep the tension.
Yeah.
So rook d4 and then rook d1 coming.
Yes, and try something to keep the press.
Yeah.
Okay. And we see that now the time control Gloria have 21 minutes left at her clock.
Yeah.
And Zhu has 29 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not really a significant problem for either of them.
Yeah.
But potentially for Goryachkin, if she doesn't find the right plan here, this is not a very simple position. Still, it's not a simple position. So she needs to find the best way to play, the most effective way to play.
Yes.
And it can be a problem that you spend a little bit too long here. You know, you start thinking about, so Queen B2 is an interesting move. You know,
Queen B2?
I'm just thinking about that. Can you do that?
Queen B2, so...
I'm just wondering.
Oh, so if I take the D5 pawn,
I
then
want
you will
E5,
play E5.
I want E5.
And then you take the B6 pawn first, and to attack the D5 pawn and A5 pawn, like that.
Yeah, I want this E5 and then knight.
Maybe knight E8.
Oh, she's played
or...
rook D4 actually. It's very interesting.
Oh, yes. She saw that.
Yeah, that's a good move. That's an excellent move.
She's a very strong player.
There's been one serious error, actually, by both sides, and it was an exchange of errors, you know, like one after the other, you know, just Goryachkina with bishop d3 and then, you know, failing to take an advantage of the... You know, sometimes it can be the case that you have too much respect for your opponent, that you know, although Zhu Wenjun has got a clear plus score in their encounters, previous encounters, it has been obvious that Goryachkina has improved dramatically. She's become very, very strong in the last year or so. So it may be that Zhu gives her, let's say, too much respect. You know, that you start to get afraid of your opponent. Not exactly afraid, but you're not expecting them to make blunders.
Yes.
And
I
you
got
know,
it.
so
Yes.
so sometimes you're not looking for the for the
you think they will play very well. So
yeah, you trust that they're going to play good moves. So you're not actually looking for refutations because you think, well, you know, she's good, you know, and she's not going to blunder in a simple position like this.
Yes.
And that can be a problem in chess, that
Okay.
you give too much respect to your opponent.
Yes. So not trust your opponents. And here, let us guess again. How much moves do you think it can be finished?
Well, my first question. Well, that's a good question. My first question is: should we have a little guess on the result?
Okay.
Okay, that should be the first point.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the result?
Although here maybe white has a slightly advantage, but I think black can hold it. So I guess it's a draw. Yeah.
Draw.
Yes. How about you?
I think white might win. I think white might win.
Really?
Yeah, I think white might win. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. 50 moves.
50 moves.
Yeah.
So now it's 29 moves.
Yeah.
So 50 moves means after 21 moves,
Yeah.
then white win.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess maybe 45 minutes.
45 moves.
Yeah, 45 moves.
And a draw.
And draw, yes.
Okay. Good. But this is the thematic break which I spoke about in this opening. That, you know, the key thing is that you know, like this
White
old
push
games.
Okay.
You play d5,
Yes.
and after e takes d5,
Mm-hmm.
so that the knight, let's say, is no longer, you play e5.
Yeah.
And this has been seen in these very, very old games. Not in this position.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the idea only. And
The idea is classical, right?
classical idea, absolutely. Yeah, classical idea. So I think I would not be very happy about playing e takes d5, e5. You can do knight e8.
Mm-hmm. Because of,
And then rook d1 looks like a good move.
maybe rook c5,
Rook c5, and then maybe f4 or something.
f4, f5, f6.
Well, f4 is, I'm defending that for the moment, and I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to play queen f3. Maybe I'm going to play f5.
Oh,
If you
yes.
play knight c7,
Knight c7,
I will then play f5,
f5.
and that starts to look very, very dangerous,
Yes.
because although
The rook
Well,
can go to g4. Or
correct, and
or
white,
knight g4.
a knight g4
Yeah.
or queen g3, rook g4,
Yeah.
f6.
Yes.
And then knight f5, and you
Yeah.
know what?
A lot of things can
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I mean, all attacking ideas are available to white. So I think to play like this with black, I don't like knight c7. I think knight c7 is wrong, but
Yeah.
it's not that easy when you're somehow driven back with
Yes.
with this.
So here, maybe it's hard to defend.
I just don't think it's that. Yeah, I think it's not that.
Which is the best plan to defend it?
Well, there is the other point actually, that sometimes you can go on a passive defense. You can try e5. And then you get, and I don't like that, by the way, you know, because then the rook
Me
would,
too.
and then nobody likes it, you know, but rook d2, and then you would sort of try to put this one here, knight e8, and you would try and blockade.
Yeah. But it looks...
And you know, in that book which you've read of Nimzovich, which you have in Chinese,
Okay.
he talks about the blockade.
Yes, I remember that.
And how do you say that in Chinese? Blockade? You blockade on d6?
In Chinese, it's called maybe 封锁.
封锁.
Yes.
封锁. So, 封锁 on d6.
Yeah, you're right.
High blockade on d6.
You're good at language.
Oh dear.
But it looks passive.
Yeah, and why that? So there is some idea to that, but I don't think it's going to work, because actually you're quickly going to get into trouble with your b pawn. That's the first point. And secondly, you give a protected passed pawn on d5.
Yes.
Which is, in this position, it's a huge asset, actually. You know, I mean, it's there. It's only 3 squares away from queening. It's defended.
Yeah.
It's taking squares. It's cutting the coordination to a degree of the black pieces. So, I mean, black does not want to defend in such a passive way. So
Yes.
e5 is to be avoided in this. other positions you can allow a protected pass pawn, but not here.
Yeah.
Not here. It's.
I think maybe if here has a pawn at c5, then maybe black can do this because they have no file.
Yeah. Also, even with the pawn on a7, if your pawn is even that is better. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So because you're somehow safer. And then you blockade, and then you take the C file, and then you hope to hold.
Yes.
Like that. But this one, you're just too loose. You're too...
Yeah, so here cannot play E5. I think maybe just E takes D5, or... So... Here.
Again, I'm going to. I'm glancing, over here, and I see this engine, and the engine's saying black's absolutely fine. I would not be happy with black here. Again, you
not trust the engine.
Well, look, it may be the truth. It may be the objective truth, but I'm talking about how your chances to go wrong, and I think that if you play E takes D5, which is actually like one of the main recommendations, it's much easier to play with white. I think white is risking very little. One pawn down, you play E5. You're
F4,
and
F5, just a push.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
it's very easy, just a push.
Well, you'll play f4, and then you'll see whether your knight come in, your queen will go to g3, and your threats are coming.
Yeah.
And we spoke about the clock earlier. Black is not in time trouble, but the time is starting to come down. So I think rook d4 was good because it's keeping the tension. It's the maximum complexity in the position, and Zhu, she has to decide: does she take this pawn and then rely on her defense? Does she try and find another way to play? I don't think she's particularly comfortable. I mean, just judging her body language here, and maybe you know her better. I've played her a couple of times. I don't say she's panicked. That would be an exaggeration. She's not panicked, but I don't think she's completely happy. It's a complicated position, and she's got to make difficult decisions. So although
she played, we can see she spent a lot of time for this move.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Yeah, so we can feel she feel some problem like that.
And this is an odd
Queen
move.
E7, or she also she give up her B6 pawn. Can I take it?
Well,
no.
Queen C5 I think is the point.
So we cannot take the pawn.
Yeah.
So she want to figure out it by some tactical moves.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's defending B6 with some tactics.
And here, black want to play Queen C5, but now we cannot play this because white can play
Rook C4.
Yes.
Yeah. I think her idea is, again, to come back to our dear friend, Mr. Nimzovich, who you like so much, and you know all his expressions in Chinese. That's. I think this is now. She has another idea, by the way. She wants to play E takes D5.
Oh,
and,
it takes d5.
and she's stopping e5.
Oh yes, now okay, now I got it.
So I think that is really the idea, the main idea.
Yes. And here, Gloriashkina played rook d1
Yeah,
to double her rook,
yeah,
following her plan.
yeah.
Yes. So it seems white has advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was a moment where it seems that, if we just go back, that white missed
Okay.
an opportunity to be more, to cause more problems with queen d2.
Queen d2.
And point of that is you defend the rook. You actually threaten rook takes b6.
Yes.
So you've defended the rook.
Yes.
And here you're also, you give extra support to the move. d6 is an idea for white. White wants to play d6. And if e takes d5, you can simply play e takes d5.
Okay. E takes
And
d5.
you see, because you have got everything under control there.
Yeah.
And now d6 and knight f5 ideas are in the air.
Yes.
So this would have been, apparently this is a good chance. So rook d1 is less, it's a natural move, but less effective.
Yes, because the queen d2 keeps more threat.
Yeah,
Rook d1 is give up the choice as rook b6, like that.
now what has she done?
She
Rook
played
d8.
Rook d8.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So maybe here white will play a queen d2.
d2 again.
Yeah, again, double
Yeah.
at the d
Yeah.
file.
Yeah. Well, tripling on the d
Tripling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's possible. It certainly looks possible.
And maybe queen c5. Can I do this?
You can. Rook c4 or rook c1, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, so I need to come back. It's not
Yeah.
good. But here you threat d6, right?
Yeah.
d6 and e5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So my queen should
No,
go
queen
away.
d2. Queen d2 is. Yeah, queen d2 is actually a difficult move to meet.
Maybe my queen should go to a3.
Yep. You can do that. And there is another possibility which is quite interesting. Knight c4 already is dangerous. If we just go back, instead of queen d2, and in fact
Knight
maybe more natural.
Oh yes, attack the b6 pawn
Yeah.
and also threat d6.
Yeah, so queen c5 looks natural.
Okay,
And let's see whether we can do anything with knight e5.
knight e5.
Probably not. Rook d6.
Rook
It looks as if you're doing something, but maybe not.
Oh, sorry, rook d6.
Not so clear. Not so clear. You can play knight d3, or you. In fact, it's not clear that white.
Whoa.
That,
Knight d3.
yep.
And how to defend the e5?
D5. Well, I'm going to play E5, whatever. You know, that's against E5. Yeah, knight D3, queen C7, because I've got E5, rook takes D5, so there's no threat.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's sort of defending by tactics.
Yes.
So that's something to think about.
And I remembered someone tell me if you start to defense by the tactical moves, it maybe means that your position is not good.
I don't. Well.
Because
if you can only defend, if you can only defend by tactical means, then that is often the case. But sometimes you don't have a choice.
That's I mean.
Yeah. I'm a very lazy person. I don't like to defend by tactical means because I have to think.
Okay. But you are good at positional, right?
So, I mean, thinking is hurting my head, so I prefer not to do that.
So you can solve the problem by positional move, not tactic move.
Yeah.
Here, both of.
I think Queen D2 is better, but sometimes you get fixed on these ideas because the standard, as I've said, the standard idea is E takes D5, you play E5.
Yes.
And sometimes, you see, this is a position where when E takes D5 will come, you can't play E5. So, so you need to adjust your way of thinking.
Yes.
But Queen D2 is a good move.
Yeah, it looks natural.
Yeah.
But sometimes, when you play chess, you always want to find this move, find the perfect move.
Yeah.
You will see the Queen D2 at first, but then you will think if there's some move better, then you will spend more time at it.
Yeah, but sometimes you're looking at moves like Queen G3. You know, those. These are the sort of moves I would be thinking about. Queen G3 maybe is an interesting. Yeah, that's the sort of move I would consider because there are some tactics. But there's no real threat, and Queen C5 can be played, you see. So Queen C5. So she's gone Knight C4.
Yes.
I thought she would do this, actually.
So which move do you prefer, Knight C4 or Queen D2?
I think Queen D2 was better, but Knight C4 is interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, but I'll tell you what's the main problem with this, in my view.
What's different?
Is that it makes, just from a purely practical point of view, is that Black's move is absolutely obvious. Now, so you're forcing your opponent to play
Queen C5?
Good moves.
A good move.
Okay. Yeah. So when you are, when you make when you're making forcing moves, you want it to have a clear, to be clearly better for you at the end, or clearly winning for you at the end.
Yeah.
But here you play Knight C4, and Queen C5 is, look, anybody would play this move.
Yes.
Everybody would play it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just needs to calculate Knight E5. That's actually the most difficult thing to,
Yeah.
from Black's point of view.
Maybe Queen C5, Knight E5, or
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's calculating this because there's actually nothing else to calculate.
so. What? This is what she think about it.
Yeah,
Right?
and maybe there are some other variations here. So after knight e5, if we go, for example, if we let's suppose. No, there aren't any other possibilities here. I'm thinking of. No, rook d6 is forced.
Yeah.
So rook d6, knight c4.
Of course.
Rook d7.
Okay. I think
Draw.
Black
Draw.
will be happy.
I think Black will be very happy with the draw.
Yes. Maybe White will not draw too early. She want to try.
Yeah. She's definitely going to play Queen C5, but she looks tense. You can see she's got these little sort of fidgety hand movements. She's a bit tense, and maybe that's it. It's time pressure. It's starting to edge into time trouble. Time pressure, 11 minutes. Okay, she will gain another.
And here's a question. If you play Queen C5, I play Knight E5, and you play Rook D6, can I play this move?
Yeah, you can. And then Rook D7.
And okay, you will play here. Okay, it's nothing. I cannot push E5.
Well, you have to consider those things. So Queen C5, Knight here, Rook D6, Knight C6, Rook D7, E5, not recommended. Rook takes D5.
I cannot play E5.
E takes F6. Queen takes C6. Queen G3.
Queen G3.
Those are the little moves you need to think about. You
G6.
need G6, and then I'll play Queen B8 check. And then I'm going to checkmate you around the back, and you're going to be very unhappy.
Really? You will checkmate? Okay, let me
King
check.
H7, Queen F8.
Okay, so I must play this move.
Yeah, but then you're losing. Then I take your rooks. Then I take.
Here?
Yeah, and then Rook D7.
So it seems here?
Oi. No, the other one. The other one.
Okay.
So you're not happy, are you? You're not. I can tell you're not happy.
Yeah, I'm not happy. Let me think about it. Here? I have chance? Okay.
No, I mean, you have to play...
Here I
Yeah.
have chance.
I mean, actually, after Queen G3, you can play G5. But you see, the point is, and G5 is good, but not because you know. But
yeah, so the king can go.
Yeah, you give yourself some space there with the king coming up to G6.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that you have to see these things.
Yeah.
Yes. And that takes time. And maybe you stop calculating before.
Yes.
You get there. And they don't have that much time, So she's done something. What the heck has she done?
She played the E takes D5.
Right. So excitement. E takes D5.
Yeah.
Knight takes B6. And this is such an unpleasant position. So she's going to go rook d6, isn't she? Or is she? I think she is.
I think must be rook d6.
Don't know what she's doing. So she's got nervous.
Yeah.
She's got very, very nervous. I think she couldn't calculate this. You know how it is. She couldn't calculate this position exactly.
Okay.
That's the thing that, you know, you go queen c5 and then you're starting to think knight e5 and knight d3 or maybe knight c6 and queen g3. And, you know, it starts going round. And you notice how she's, you know, sort of, you know, almost biting her fingers, fingernails, you know, that you can see there is this tension on the face. And then at some point, you have to make a decision. And she goes for something like, very simple, she's gone rook b7.
Yes.
You go for something simple but bad.
Okay. And here, white will win a pawn.
Just wins a pawn. Yeah.
Mm.
And so she's playing a clear pawn down.
Yeah.
But at least now she kind of understands what she's doing. But this is not being able to withstand the tension. Too much tension, and she wants to get rid of it, you know, by playing in a very, very clear way.
Yeah.
It's clear, but it's bad.
Yes. Mm.
So what was my prediction? Win for white in 50 moves. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You won the previous bet. I'm hoping to get one back.
I trust her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You're very patriotic. It's very good to have a patriotic co-commentator.
And now you have 18 moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have 18 moves to win. Not too much. I think
Actually, it's even possible to play rook d2 here, isn't it?
have to be this move, and maybe just.
Yeah, I would take and then
Yeah.
e takes d. Yeah, because
takes.
because the rook is good on d4.
Okay. Yes, the rook in here is to both defense the a4 pawn and the d5.
Yeah, it's
pawn.
pushing.
Yeah,
So
pushing.
she's taken, bang,
Yeah.
and I'm sure she'll take.
Taken.
I'm sure she'll take with the pawn.
Yes.
Could take with the rook, but it looks.
Yeah. E takes d5.
It looks better.
Yes.
Looks better.
Oh.
Oh, she's gone with the rook, has she?
No. Pawn. Yeah.
Oh, she took with the pawn. Yeah, it's normal because the rook on d4 is a multi-purpose rook.
Yes.
It defends on a4. It is helping to push the pawn, and also at some point it can just swing to the king side.
Yes.
Rook g4 and rook g4, queen d4. Suddenly, or rook g4, queen g3, some mate, like that.
Yes.
So you don't want to be you don't want to be in a hurry to exchange the rooks. No.
Yes, the rook is very active, so we should keep it.
Yeah.
Oh. Now I feel a little bit nervous.
Yeah. well, there's a long way to go still in this game, and there is an even longer way to go in the match.
Yeah.
So it's a 12-game match. So even if, from the Chinese perspective, Zhu suffers an unfortunate loss today, then there is still plenty of time to come back in the match.
Okay. Block the pawn. And I think now maybe Black will to move her d8 rook, and maybe to change the rook. Maybe
I think one of the things is she'll be looking at rook b4 as an idea.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what they say? I mean, there are certain things which are very, very standard ways of talking. They always say queens are bad blockaders.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, you should always, you should in general blockade with a weaker piece,
Yes.
And the idea on that is simple, that
Because
you
queen
block.
is
Yeah,
10 points.
yeah. The queen is. Is that what you say in China? Yeah, you see, I learned 9 points, but we.
9 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm reading in some books, and they have some different mathematical evaluations. But you see, when I grew up, it was 9 points for the queen. But in fact, they make some different assessments on these things. So. But the whole point is, if you attack the queen, attack the queen with a rook or a knight or a bishop, it's got to move, and therefore you no longer have a blockade.
Yes.
That's the essence of it.
So I know that the knight is good at block pawns.
Yes. Yeah.
And h3.
I do not like h3.
It looks weak, the black square.
Yeah. I don't think that was okay. What the hell? It's maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay.
Yes, it's because of the time. She just want to make a move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, she's given herself h2. As a safety square, h2. So okay, yeah, maybe it's not bad.
And the rook b8.
Right, rook b8.
Yes. I think black want to play like rook b4 or rook b2.
Yeah.
So it's a question. What can white to improve?
Well, I can tell you what white can do here. White could definitely play f4, and in fact, I think white should play f4 because this is another multi-purpose move, and in fact, I'm almost certain she's going to do this because it fits in with this move h3.
Yes.
She needs to give herself this safe square on h2 for the king.
Yeah, if you play f4, then you cut the
diagonal. Yeah,
so your king can go to h2.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So there is another point to f4, is that at some moment you might be able to play queen e3 and queen e5.
Ah, queen e3 and queen e5 to exchange the queen.
Exchange the queens,
or put the pieces to block the pawn.
Yeah, you put pressure on black there by queen e3, queen e5. But The main purpose of f4 is strangely enough, it's a sort of defensive move. You know, that's the first thing.
Yes.
And giving your king safety. This is the priority.
Yeah.
Because once you've gone f3, you have this little bit of a weakness on the second rank, and also on the first rank sometimes.
Yeah.
And that will give her the maximum protection for her king.
So, why she just think?
I don't know.
Maybe she is calculate about f4, bishop b4, like that.
f4, rook b4. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, rook b4.
Yeah, but rook b4 is not a threat, you know.
Yes.
f4, rook b4, queen e3, I can still do, you know, something like that, you know.
Yes. No, she not play f4. She turned back her rook. Oh, sorry, queen e1.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good move.
She want to play more perfect.
Yeah, it's actually, it's not a bad move, because here she attacks a5.
Yes, and it's a forcing move.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, it's not exactly a forcing move, but it's a threatening move, maybe I would say.
But black have to play rook b4.
Why?
Right?
Why rook b2?
Rook b2. You play rook b2. Okay. I can't take the pawn.
Well, try.
If let's try. If
Yeah, try that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now queen g3.
And I.
You go back.
Oh. Okay, I can.
You can do
this.
it still.
Yeah.
And then if yeah, maybe you can do it. Rook b4, rook b8 to b4.
Rook b8 to b4. Okay. So.
You see, this can be very dangerous,
Yeah. Yes.
because I threaten rook takes d2 now.
Yes.
So this can go very, very wrong if you're not careful.
Yeah.
She's played rook b4.
Okay. Rook b4.
Not a bad move.
So maybe queen c3.
Yeah, something like that. But you see, you know, my feeling is that queen e1 is not the most was not the most accurate move.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you understand what I mean? You know that. Yeah, queen c3 is okay, but it's. You know, why do you play queen e1 in order to play queen c3? I don't know.
yeah. So here maybe the f4 is much better. Maybe.
I think it's very natural move. It's a
Yeah.
very, very natural move.
Yes.
Let black waste time with exchanges.
Yeah.
And you're just
Maybe,
making the...
and then like this to prepare.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks better. And here it's a little bit strange.
Yeah, it's a little bit too clever, a little bit too you know, well, I understand the queen controls squares. It's maybe going this way. It's still covering g3.
So here the move is a little bit tactical.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And f4 is more positional.
Yeah, I think so. It
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's a move you want to play, and yeah, I don't think anything disastrous can
Yes.
happen.
And
She's gone rook e4.
rook e4.
Not bad.
Rook e4 may be better than queen c3.
Yeah, it's somehow
Because the queen go to queen side, maybe the king side will have a little bit dangerous.
yeah.
So
So I think her idea is now rook takes e4. She wants f
Pawn
takes
takes?
pawn takes.
yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the idea. F takes e. Rook takes rook. Pawn takes.
f6.
And now queen takes a5 is
Oh,
very
yeah.
good. Yeah. Okay.
So I cannot play f6. I must play. But if I play rook b4, then you can e5.
I'll play
push.
e5. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is her idea, that she wants to play tactically.
Yeah.
She's going to push, check, and the king will go probably to h1 actually here. And even you can play, maybe not queen f2. King h1 is just good, and then just push.
Yes. If you check, I just king
King
h1
h1, yeah.
and then push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about putting the king on h2, but here it's safer on h1 because we've covered the back rank.
Yes. And here.
And now d6, d7, etc.
Yeah.
She's played g6 instead.
Sorry.
Okay, not so stupid.
Maybe white will play queen e3. That's a threatened move. To
Yep.
Attack.
Yeah,
h6.
then h5, I think. I think h5 is the main issue there.
h5. And the
I don't think you want to encourage h5. I think h5 is a good move for black anyway.
yeah. So the queen e3 is.
I'm not sure.
unnecessary.
I'm not sure what. Yeah, I think it's unnecessary. Yeah, so queen c3 now
Oh.
makes more sense, because what we are looking for is
For this.
we're looking for rook e1 and then rook
Yeah.
e8 check.
Oh yes.
And we're also thinking about sometimes
Mm-hmm.
queen e5. Not
Ah.
not now, but mainly rook e1.
Sometimes
Res-
queen e5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes even queen c6.
Yes, so the queen c3 is more logical to against g6.
Yeah, against g6, it's I like the move.
Yeah. Oh, she just moved her king.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of
it's
the
not
time.
it's not a bad move.
Because of the time, she only have 3 minutes left
Yeah,
on clock,
it's
so
not a-
she
it's-
should
it's-
move it quickly.
Yeah, but king h1 is a useful move anyway, so it's a good move.
Yeah. Okay, black played h5, I think.
Do we have it? Yeah, h5 looks natural.
Yeah.
H5 is natural because, you know, it's good for various reasons. That was an undefended pawn.
Yeah.
But sometimes when black is looking for drawing chances, you need the pawn on h4. Sometimes you get a perpetual check
yeah.
with the queen and the pawn on h4.
Yeah.
You go queen e1 check, queen g3 check, queen e1 check, and you get this draw.
Yes.
So h5 is a good move anyway. It's just everything is protected there.
Yeah. I can imagine that. So h5 is useful. Oh, h5, yes.
Yeah.
Here. they have two moves. I think she just need to make some move as safe, and then at 14 moves.
Yeah, the
it's
problem,
okay.
yes, up to a point, but you know, black is not without counterplay, and also you have to watch out. Sometimes you can just be losing your A pawn if you're
Yes.
yeah, if you're not careful. You know, you do something and then maybe queen d7 and queen takes a4 or something like that happens, you know, just...
Yeah.
I think she sort of slightly misplayed it, isn't it? These positions, they're not that easy to play. I thought f4 was much better.
Yes. So it tell me we should to solve the problem by positional play, not too much tactical.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, too much calculation. Yeah, I think that's probably correct.
Okay. Rook e8.
Yeah, rook e8, but she can take and play king g7 now. Or maybe.
Maybe it's a clever
Yeah,
move.
and then yeah, queen c6. Ah, then we're going to get one of those. If queen c6, which is dangerous, yeah, that's it. This is her
maybe
right.
it's a clever move.
Yeah, because now black takes,
Yeah.
black takes, and then takes, and then rook c4, because we can't play rook takes a4
Yes.
because of rook c1
Yes.
winning.
And we cannot stop the pawn.
It can't stop the pawn, so
Yeah.
we have to play.
Rook c4.
Yeah, so she's yeah. So rook d5 takes. And this should be a draw.
Yes, I think it's a draw.
It definitely ought to be a draw. The rook comes behind the pawn, so you can give it
Here?
check.
And here?
Yeah,
But my king can go.
yeah, then rook a2.
Okay. So it's a draw.
Look, they have to make more moves, but it's not a completely trivial draw, but it should be a draw.
Yes.
White should play h4 there or something like that.
Yeah, white should play h4, and then maybe she want to make her king upstairs.
Yeah. I like your use of the word upstairs. I like that. This is a nice expression. A nice expression. So, you mentioned Chess Informant the other day, that you remember the Chess Informant with those symbols, you know, the symbols, and they show with attack or slight advantage, or you know, or
I know that.
diagonal or something.
Yeah.
I always thought they should introduce a symbol for toilet. You know, that's basically you play a move because you really need to go to the toilet quite quickly. You know?
Okay.
So one that you can just play and you can disappear. You know, that's it's. I noticed that you disappeared very, very fast there.
And here it's 14 moves.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what is the fundamental problem.
Mm-hmm.
The fundamental problem for White is she has mishandled this position in that once you play in this way with Rook e8 check takes here. You don't have another way of playing.
Yeah. So she should not play rook e8. Maybe she should wait. Wait.
Look, she will get an endgame. Yeah, I mean, she could have done various things. So she will get an endgame now, where there are only two results. Either Goryachkina will win. More likely it will be a draw.
Yeah.
So she's played, like for two results, but I think objectively it should be a draw, this end game.
Yeah. I guess because of both of them want to make the chess under their control, so they calculate too much, make too much forcing move.
It's in a sense it's a very natural way to play, because look, if you start the game and you get the chance to get a rook and pawn endgame with an extra pawn, you're normally quite happy with this if you're starting the game.
Yeah.
But I don't think she will win. I don't think she's got any better move here. In fact, I don't see any plan at all.
Yes.
For her. So Queen c6 to me looks like completely forced. I don't see any way to play this position.
Yeah.
So we're going to get this endgame by force. Black is completely safe. In fact, if you give black an extra move, black will even play h4, which is a move that black wants to play.
Yes.
So just white simply doesn't have any extra options. So Queen c6 is what will happen.
Yes. And
if, just by the way, we should consider Queen g3.
Okay, Queen g3.
Now d6.
d6.
Yeah, rook b2 is not possible because of Queen c3 check.
Yes.
Okay. So black also doesn't have any options there.
Yes.
Queen takes queen is going to be forced.
Yes.
We've just pointed out rook takes a4 loses to rook c1. So this is going to go. These moves are going to come.
Yes. And maybe we'll have a lot of moves in the rook ending.
Yeah. So I think we're both going to be wrong. You're on the betting. And I will still have to catch up with you on another day with my predictions. You're still ahead. So what
yes,
is
she played Queen c6.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do. I mean, there is simply no other option.
Yes.
So just let me see. We'll get the next few moves. Actually, rook b6 is rook b6, queen c3 check.
Yes.
So she's taken.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it. Rook c4.
Yes.
Rook a5 is going to come. So rook d5 and then rook a5.
Yes.
So these moves are going to come. Maybe we just wait for a couple more moves. And then we might have a little break. I think we'll have a lot more moves in this. And yet, rook c4 is the best move, actually.
Rook c4?
Yeah.
Rook c4?
That's even better.
Why?
because she wants to play h4.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, she's going to do it, I'm sure. It's going to be a draw. Yeah, rook c4 is good. I like it.
No?
Oh, she went behind.
Yes.
Okay. It's another matter. Yeah. Oh, she can even play h4. No.
Right now? No.
Yeah, I think she can even do that.
If you play h4 right now, can I play...
You can move your rook. That's the point. Yeah.
Yes.
This is actually an interesting moment. Do you play h4 right now? Because, okay, you move your rook somewhere. Let's say you put it on d5 or b5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Rook a1.
Yeah.
Now, if you play rook b4, I'll play g5.
Yes. Okay.
And you're going to have to weaken yourself
Yes.
because your king is caught in the trap.
Yeah. So I must play like g3?
At some point, yeah. Well, g3, you're going to have rook a2 check.
Yeah.
So it looks very, very drawish.
Yes. I think Ju will play that.
Yeah, I think she will draw. I think
She will play h4.
So normally you want the rook behind the pawn, but this is a good moment to kind of force the weaknesses with h4
Yes.
on this side. So a little bit too simple from Goryachkina, a little bit too simple, before the time control.
Yeah.
Right, now we've reached the time control. Your beleaguered commentators are going to take a short break. We are expecting that Zhu Wenjun will be able to hold this endgame. But we're also not expecting the game to end immediately.
Yeah.
We think there will still be some fight, but it should be, I think, comfortably within Black's capabilities to draw that. So we'll take a break and join you soon. Thanks.
Thanks.
Our technician has just left us. Perfect.
Excuse me?
Go and speak to him. Go and speak.
Okay.
Go and speak to him. Yeah, our technician was taking selfies. Yeah. So welcome back to the game. We've just had our break. The time control has been negotiated successfully, and we have a few more moves that maybe Xiaowen, if you can run us through those moves. Zhang played not the only move, but I think maybe the simplest way to play, and that's h4, keeping the white king in a little box.
Yes.
For the moment.
I think it's the best move.
Yeah. So it will keep the king out of play for as long as possible.
And rook d5.
Yeah.
Rook a1 and a5.
Yeah. And now it ought to be not too difficult to hold this position.
Yeah.
Basically, because white can only get the king out by playing g4, g3, g4 actually at some point.
Yeah, but it seems not.
Yeah, because the pawns are going to be too weak when you do this, and you will not have time.
So here I think black just should play like f6 and g5 and king g6 like that.
For example, yeah, that's one good way of doing it. In fact, you don't even need to do anything here, but f6 g5 is I think one way.
And just wait.
You can even wait here, wait for white. Because let's think about it logically speaking, that white cannot, with the rook defending the pawn from the side, white cannot advance the pawn unless the king comes to support.
Yes.
Right now the king
cannot go outside.
Yeah, and therefore g4 will have to be played, and this will create weaknesses, and black will have enough counterplay then.
Yes. So I just play f6 and g5, and then my king is stay at g6.
Or you can even play king h6 right here and get your king further up the board. You can even play king h6 and even f5, because white cannot do anything without marching the king across.
And my idea is that if you play g4, white play g4, I just capture you, and your king capture. Then my rook go to a2.
Or a3.
Yeah.
a3 to attack the pawns, actually.
Yes.
That's what you need to do. So, in fact, you can play king h6.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Just let's see
h6.
one way to do it. So let's say white plays g4 now.
And just
we can take, and maybe rook a3 to keep the pawns under attack.
Yes. Oh, maybe can I?
Or perhaps you don't even need to do that. You can even play. Here first. Maybe better.
Maybe better. Okay.
And if king f2, we play rook a3.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're going to have to give up these pawns. So if you play h4, f5, I'll play.
f5, and I will play.
And my king will be coming for the attack. Yeah. It's way too slow for white to get the king across to support the pawns.
Yeah.
The black is far too active in this position.
Yes. So here I think it's it's
It should be quite an easy draw.
Yeah.
I think it's not too difficult to do. What we know is from there has been a lot of analysis on this type of endgame, and in fact, there are positions which are much worse for black than this position, which are still drawn.
yeah.
They're still drawn with accurate play. And here, black has obtained just about everything that he wants, she wants, by keeping the king caught in this particular box. So,
And who said that all
rook
rock
of
endings-
all rook endings are drawn. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
Who said that?
Some wise man said
Really?
that.
Really, in my memory, I remember that is who, what champion said that.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was a little bit of a joke, but there is always some truth in every joke.
Yeah.
So, if I look at the screen now and look at the body language, although
Well,
Ju
yeah,
is
I don't know why
she's looking, she looks a bit tense, a little bit tense to me. I mean, there's a sort of little fidgetiness for her. In fact, I think her only possibility to go wrong in this position is if she spends too much time.
yeah.
Even then, she should be able to draw. But maybe if she spends too much time, and that could be the only possibility.
Maybe she wants to take all things under the control, so she's spend too much time to think about it.
Yeah. But I think she can draw more or less by doing nothing here. F5. Yeah, it's not a bad way to play. It really is not a bad way to play.
Yeah.
Because what she knows that she has to get the she has to get counterplay,
Yeah.
attacking the kingside
So
pawns.
maybe
So she's advancing her pawn towards the queening square.
Yeah, maybe she want to play F4,
Oh,
and then your king cannot go.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, F4 is and that would just be dead. So F5 is F5 is actually quite a nice move. I think G4 is the only possibility for white.
G4. And if you play G4, can I play like F4?
Yeah, but then my king starts to come across. You may be able to do it even so.
G4.
I would not play in such a risky way. After G4, F4, you can see.
Okay.
No, I don't like that. G5, I like.
Okay. G5. Maybe I just check.
Check, King G1.
And okay. Okay, the 2 pawns looks dangerous.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is a risky way to play. I think the simplest way to play is just to
Just to take it.
take it. Yeah,
Okay. And king takes.
takes, and you can keep the rook. You can stop King F4.
Maybe king f6.
Yeah, but I think just rook a4 is good here. Rook a4,
Okay.
king
f2.
king f2, and now maybe rook a3, just to keep this under control.
Okay. So maybe in here I should to move my rook, maybe.
Where?
Just check and
King h.
go to a7, and then bring my pawn near the
Yeah,
background.
this is maybe a better chance.
Yes.
So let's go back. Let's try and defend it in a simpler way.
Okay.
Let's
G4.
yeah, okay. Let's take and play king h6.
King h6.
Yeah,
Okay, I cannot move my rook now.
yeah.
So yeah. So here I have to move my king, right? King f4.
Oh, she's played king h. Rook a2 check. Yeah, this is also a draw.
Okay, she played g4, rook a2 check, king g1.
It's also a draw. And now f takes g4 is going to be good.
F takes g4, f takes it.
And even king f6,
And maybe
and even king f6 is going
King
to be
f6.
even king f6 is going to be good enough.
or maybe just a rook a3.
No. Why rook a3? Just even king f6 is good.
Okay.
We go king f6, king g5, king f4.
Yeah.
We play to win.
Yeah. Yes. So it's just a draw.
The thing is, I don't think it's very interesting. There are different ways of playing the position. It's not as though black has sometimes black has a very narrow path that has to go along in order to make a draw.
Yeah.
But it seems that there are several ways of playing.
And here, if you f takes g4, can I take it by h pawn?
You can.
And to make more pass pawn.
You can. And then king h6.
King h6. Okay. It's hard to move.
G5 check, king h5 clearly. So that's not recommended.
Yeah.
can
And
e-
you
you
will
could- you
play
could-
h3, king h4.
You could even get in trouble if you're not careful. If you-
Yes. So it's okay. It's nothing.
So after king h6, f takes g4 is possible. H takes g4.
Here.
Yeah, no, okay, if white plays f takes g4, you can play rook a3.
Yeah.
And that's like an immediate draw. Because king g2, I just play rook g3 check,
Yeah.
king h2, and then rook a3.
Yes.
It's very, very, very drawn.
Yes. So what is she thinking about?
Well, I don't think there are big concerns. I don't think she should be really worried. But somehow Ju Wenjun she's not at her best here. you know, in this match, that's my impression, that she's not. I mean, she's sometimes much more convincing.
Maybe tomorrow she will play
Yes,
better.
oh, sure. I mean, plenty of time. And the end, she hasn't lost a game. So, you know, it says something if you are not at your best and still you're not behind in the match. In fact, a draw here puts her in a nice position. Oh, she's played takes g4. It's maybe not.
So she's just to make sure it's a
Yeah.
draw. So maybe this game will be finished at 55 moves.
Yeah, could well be. I don't see. Now I don't see this game going on for very much longer because White really doesn't have many winning tries.
Yes.
The key thing which has made it very, very easy in this endgame is the pawn being already on h4. That is the key thing, because there's a very advanced pawn, and it's also restricting the white king.
Yeah.
So
I remember you said it earlier that h5 is a very useful move because of h4.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. It's good strategic feeling, intuition.
Okay, and the white play h takes d4. Okay, I think maybe.
I had my hand read yesterday.
Hand read?
Yes, you know, palmistry, when you examine the hand and you see your life.
Okay.
Your love, life, and how long you live.
Okay, you remember
and it's
that?
From my dear friend Hamid over there.
Okay.
He's on the. Do you want to come and wave to the camera? Just. No, he's not. He's waving to the camera. He's in the corner. Can't see him. And he said, I'm a very intuitive person. So, you know, that was my intuition, that this is very good. Follow the intuition. It's a good move.
Yeah. And black played king h6.
Mm. I should point out that Xiaowen, she's eating an orange very behind here. She's being very sneaky.
No, I'm not eating.
Yeah. She's preparing it. She's preparing her orange. So,
It smells good.
yeah,
Right?
it smells very good. It smells very good. She looks like she's 17, but she's really 49.
49?
49 years old. It doesn't matter. I'm joking with you. That's
Okay.
So actually, White has to be just a little bit careful here.
Yes. I think if she played g5 and then king h5 and then h3, king h4, maybe it's a little bit problem.
Could be, yeah. Could be a big problem, in fact.
Yeah. So no more risk.
Yeah.
Just to have a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell from the body language that Alexandra Goryachkina knows full well that this is completely drawn, but she doesn't look as if there's anything there, but she's just trying to find some sort of an idea, half an idea, looking for that.
Yeah.
But it isn't to be found. The king is cut off on the first rank, so a white king is cut off, and there is an H pawn there. So there's actually no reason why white should even be better here.
Yeah.
Black's compensation is excellent.
Maybe she just feel a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, I'm sure she's disappointed. I'm sure she's disappointed with how this has turned out.
So she want to try more moves.
Yep.
Yeah. And do you know how to say yes in Russian
Da.
language? Da.
Da.
And how about no?
Нет.
Yet? Oh yeah. And the draw?
Ничья.
Nicha. Okay. So you are so good at language.
Not really. I'm terrible. But these are... I think I have about 20 words in Russian, and these are... Boris Spassky taught me some Russian once upon a time, but this is a live broadcast, and there are some children watching, so I won't... I won't repeat what useful expressions he taught me.
Okay. She just played
Rook b5.
Rook b5.
It's a pass move.
I
Yeah.
think she maybe want to have a draw. Just move her rook and accept a draw. Maybe.
Well, it's a sort of I can call that even a semi Zugzwang. That is, it just says to Black, what are you going to do? And she can do a lot of things.
G5.
G5 is possible.
Yes. And if I played Rook
Okay.
b6,
Yeah,
you
King
can come
G7.
back, and I come to here,
Okay, King F7.
and maybe it's nothing because when I put down my rook, then your king can go.
Yeah,
Up
let's go. Let's go. Rook A8, King F6, A6. Oh, we're not in
No,
time. We're
no,
not
no,
in
no.
time. We're not in time.
Not in time, so I will come back. Okay. Okay, it's
And a draw.
yeah, it's
A7, King G7.
yeah,
Draw.
it's a draw. Nothing. Okay, she play like that. Rook b6, King g7.
The problem is she can't use her king because of
Yeah.
this pass pawn on H4. So we're heading for.
Yes. So it's interesting that in chess you always cannot win by only one pieces.
With one pawn. Well, you often can, but just in rook and pawn endgames. Rook and pawn endgames, it's not that easy. But now there are no ideas anymore. There are basically no ideas.
Yeah.
Black simply waits.
Yeah, black just wait. King h7.
And King G7. and she can wait.
Yeah.
The pawn's getting close to queening, but it doesn't help.
Yeah. It cannot be promoted.
Yeah.
Maybe whites, yes, want to find some chance to exchange the pawn.
How?
He wants to, but maybe cannot.
Yeah,
To
there's
do that.
nothing.
Yeah.
So let's just show. I mean, rook b7 check, for example.
King g6.
King g6, a7,
a7.
and then we can just wait. We can just play king h6,
King
h6. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's nothing.
King f1.
No, the king cannot go away.
King
because
g6. King g6. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, because
King
of the,
king e1.
this pawn, can I push it? Just oh
Rook b2.
yes.
No, then I check you, and then h2. So you can even lose. You know that's.
Yes. So the king cannot go away. So it's nothing.
Okay, do you think we're going to have a World Championship match like the Men's World Championship? Do you think we'll get 12 draws?
No, I don't think so.
Why is that?
Because in those three rounds, I think both have chance, maybe winning chance at both sides. Yeah, so they just they miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are not making a boring game. They try to win, but they miss it.
Yeah. Well, the second game was maybe the least interesting. Yeah. I mean, that became quite sterile. This has had.
But second
good
game, that is a G4 been missed.
Yeah. But okay, it was not winning. It was just a good
chance,
good chance prospect. But again, I would say that Goryachkina has had the better of today's game, but with one serious error.
Yeah.
One very, very serious error today, which Zhu failed to capitalize on.
Yeah.
She missed her opportunity to break out and play dynamically. She's been a little bit passive. That is my view, that she's not taken her chances. But you know, these things can change during the match. There is sometimes there is an ebb and flow of the energy. You know, one player is more up, the other player is down at some, and then it goes the other way around.
Yeah.
At this point,
I think need a chance at timing to broken the equal.
yes, yeah.
Just need a time to a chance to broke it. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. So
Just a
she's gone.
check.
She's gone for rook b7 check, and king
King
g6,
G6.
and the pawn gets. Is she going to play rook a7? I think she'll do rook a7. No, she's
Yeah.
gone a7.
A7.
Okay, so the pawn is very, very close. But actually now she quite
Stop
literally,
there.
she literally has no plans
Yeah.
anymore.
I think maybe king h6. Oh, king f6 is also,
It doesn't make any difference.
yeah.
Oh, the rook c2 is not so good here.
Rook c2. Yeah. Yeah, king h6. Oh, king f1.
Yeah, it's very
Ooh.
exciting. King g6. I think she's very confident. I think it's going to be.
Maybe king g1. Just like that.
King e1 would be exciting. Maybe we'll get some excitement with king e1.
No, I don't think so. I think she's
Still a draw, of course. King e1, h3, rook b6 check.
Yeah, but it's necessary to take risk.
Yeah, well, there is no risk, actually. There is no risk. It's still a draw. Maybe she'll do it. So let's see. King e1,
Yeah. h3.
rook b6 check.
Okay. That will come.
Or maybe even, can I play rook b8?
No, I can just take your pawn.
Okay, you take the pawn, and then I play.
And I will play rook. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's draw. Can I just. Okay, it's a draw. Nothing. I'll show it. Here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Ah, you see, you want to play in a dangerous way.
Yeah. Here. Okay. I guess king g1.
I think she can play king e1. She's
Oh,
played.
really?
Yes, yeah, you see. You see.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you see,
Why?
she's taking her chances. She's, look, because.
Why? I think it's not necessary. It's
Oh, she played h3.
yeah.
Okay, now rook b8. I don't think h3 was necessary. I mean, actually, after that, she could have just. Yeah, she'll play rook b8. She could also play rook b6 check. There's no risk. But rook b8 is the best chance.
Yes. But rook b8. If h2.
Yeah, rook h8. And rook takes h2.
Okay.
Still completely drawn, but at least, you know, the game can continue there.
Yes.
So there's no risk. She can also first check, and then play rook b8. You know, those are. And there's another way to play. Actually, of course, after rook b8, she can play king g7.
King g7. Yes.
It's another We can
Yeah.
show that as an idea as well. You can just maybe play here.
Yes.
And now A8 equals queen, rook takes rook, takes H2, still a draw. Rook A7,
Yeah.
rook A7 check, and then king G6 check, and king has to come here. So that's
Yeah.
just a draw.
Yes.
So everything is a draw. That's a more exciting draw, isn't it?
Really? Okay.
One side sacrificing a rook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the deadlock, the equality will be, equilibrium will be broken soon.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow, maybe the game 5. I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to see a prolonged series of draws.
Yes.
There will be chances.
Because you see their advantages more and more each round.
Well, I'm not so sure. The second game was not that exciting, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But today, I think there was a clear opportunity.
Yeah. Today, white wins an extra.
And should we go back? Should we go back? Whilst
Okay.
I think this will end shortly. Can we go back to that key moment in the game
Okay.
where we think it was the sort of
23 move.
yeah, the 23rd move where bishop d3 was played, bishop
Yeah.
c2 to d3, and now knight e5 was a very strong response.
Yeah.
And this forces d takes e5,
Mm-hmm.
rook takes d3, and suddenly the looseness of the knight on e3 is a problem. Queen takes b6,
Rook
And-
c3.
and now rook c3.
Yeah. And if you play queen
Queen takes a5, for
takes
example.
a5,
Yeah,
bishop c6.
bishop c6. Yeah.
Sorry.
That was just leading to a lot of activity for black. And
Yeah.
in fact, if knight f1 there, so this is a point much earlier in the game. So if knight f1 there, then rook c2 with a threat,
And maybe knight g3. Oh,
and then
no,
rook
no.
d2.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not good.
So this suddenly the black pieces are working very effectively together, and this leads to a decisive attack. If knight g3, rook d2 is killing,
Yes.
completely killing, and instead, if after rook c2, if g3, queen
okay.
h5 is a good move. Other moves are good actually, but queen h5 is good enough. Leads to a devastating attack.
Yeah.
What's she done? What has she done? Has she blundered?
Really?
Rook a1 check. And h2. hang on a second. Let's go back.
Okay.
Go, let's get back.
Sorry, not here. It's here. Rook b2. No, the pawn is at a7. No. When you rook a1, maybe.
Oops, sorry. Got the wrong position here.
If play rook a1, maybe
Yeah.
I can play. Oh, what's this? I think
Rook
it's
b2, still a draw.
really rook a1.
Rook a1 check.
Yes.
Ah, you can just queen. Oh gosh.
Just
Yes. Yeah. After h2, you can
And,
just queen.
queen.
Get a queen.
Okay, and okay, and I should take it, and
Yeah, and then king g2.
king g2, rook h8, king
Yeah, and
h1,
then rook b1, and then you go
B1.
and you continue.
Okay, it's
So, oh, it's not a blunder.
okay, but it's exciting. All right. It's shock you and
Yeah, no.
Maybe.
That was actually my original suggestion, and I was getting a bit too carried away. Still okay.
okay.
Maybe she's trying to win on time. She's going to get so excited about thinking about winning.
Alright. But her opponents have nearly 5 minutes. It cannot be time out. Okay, rook a1 check.
Playing for the win.
Yeah.
You can't win anyway, because wherever the king goes, I mean, she'll play king f2 for sure, but you can always play even king e2 as a draw here.
Really?
Yeah,
King e2,
yeah, because
h2.
h2, I just check you.
Just check. Okay, and oh yes. So it's a perpetual check. Oh there, maybe rook h7.
Ah, rook takes is still
Oh
something.
yeah. Oh, lost again. Ow. Yeah. So
King f6. So king f6 is possible. You have to play rook b1.
rook b1.
But that's a risky way to. But that is a really risky way to play.
Yeah.
It's a draw by perpetual check, but that's a yeah.
Risky.
Makes
So-
no sense to play like that.
Yeah, so she played king f2, h2, and here must be queen, promote a queen, h2, and a8.
Yeah, you can draw with. You can check. You know that you can check and check. Everything is still a draw.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes it's very, very sneaky to do that. That you play in a sort of what looks like a very risky way,
Yeah?
and then suddenly your opponent gets very excited. It sort of jumps up with excitement and
Okay.
and starts thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to win!" Like
Yeah.
this, and then they, Whereas actually, if you just play normally, the game's going to draw. Would be a draw. But you play like right on the edge, like playing risky, and then they get excited.
Yes, she played A8 to promote a queen, and rook takes it, and king G2.
Mm.
Okay. I think maybe rook H8 and king H1, king.
Well, rook H8. I mean, the sad thing from White's point of view is that after rook H8, rook B1, Black can even play H1 equals queen.
Yeah, and
And after takes, you can even play. I don't recommend this, but you can even play the end game like this with.
yeah, this same game is drawish.
It's not draw-ish. It's drawn.
Okay.
It's just it is just a draw.
Yeah.
But why do you want to play an endgame like that?
Yes, rook H8. Oh, sorry, here. Maybe I can play king H1 and prepare rook H2. But king H1, black just play king F6.
No, you can play rook H3. You can just play rook
yes.
H3. It's the easiest. So king H1 is not.
Yeah. She played rook B1.
Now we're going to come to one of my. I'm wondering whether she's going to play like a maniac and to play H1.
I think she maybe will play king F6.
I would just keep the rooks on in this position, because you never play a king and pawn end game. Why do you want to play a king? I'm just wondering whether she's going to do.
Because rook n is.
Yeah, the rook. The point is that with the king and pawn end game, you have to think about it.
Yeah.
But with the rook and pawn end game, you know absolutely for certain that this is a draw.
Yes.
So why
not?
why to take, why to think, why to do anything?
Yeah. So just king F6 and keep the rook on the board. Oh.
I'm just wondering whether she's going to play H1. I'm just wondering.
I guess king F6.
I'm not so sure. I'm just wondering. Looks like she's thinking about it. No, she's played safe. Safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you never need to think. You never need to think because that is such a drawn endgame.
Yeah. King H2.
And you don't need to do anything at all.
Rook A2. King G3.
And so Goryachkina is going to play rook f1, I guess.
Why play this?
And play rook f2. And then to start activating the rook.
Yeah. Maybe not f2. Maybe she want to play rook f. Oh yes.
Oh, she'll play rook f2 next move, normal.
Yeah, but rook f2. Okay.
It doesn't make any difference at all because
Yeah.
black can play rook a6.
Yes. And maybe rook b. Okay, rook d2. And the king cannot go outside too.
One of the easiest ways to play this is to put the rook on f6.
Actually, this game, who is Huang Qian? You know her?
No.
Huang Qian.
Yeah.
And Bu Xiangzhi?
Yeah.
Her wife. His wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huang Qian.
Bu's wife. Yeah.
Bu's wife is Huang Qian, also a chess player.
Yeah.
And a strong woman chess player.
Right.
And she in this endgame, she win twice.
Really?
Yeah.
This exact endgame.
Yeah, she win twice.
Good grief.
Okay, I will rook d2, rook a6, king f2, and rook e6.
Rook e2, rook a.
Rook a6.
Now, it's one way to play because king e3 can't even be played now because of rook e6 check again.
Yeah.
Actually, I had this endgame myself against Magnus Carlsen.
Really?
When I was white, the only time I got a better endgame against him. And we had 2 extra h pawns. I think I had a pawn on h5 and he had a pawn on h6. And of course, still completely drawn. No chances to win.
Yes.
And that was in London.
Oh, okay. I cannot wait. I just take my orange.
Okay.
Okay.
Gosh. She's a hungry girl. She's a growing girl. She needs her food.
I not have dinner.
No, she didn't eat in the last week.
Okay. Okay. King e3. Okay, rook e6.
Yeah, rook e6. And I think this is what's going to happen at the
And maybe king
d3. Yeah, and she can even check again. Maybe the easiest.
If you check, okay. Yes. Rook d6, king c4.
Now rook f6 again.
Yeah.
Or rook c6 check again.
Rook c6 check. Maybe I will play king d5.
Oh, then rook e6. Yeah. So I need to be a little careful.
Yeah.
So rook f6.
Rook f6. Maybe rook e3.
Rook e3 and then rook f4 check. This is.
And king d5.
Doesn't matter. Then I just wait. Then you can never improve your position.
Oh yes, because my rook cannot move.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she played king f6. I think maybe rook a2.
Yeah, rook a2 I mean, the position is still drawn.
Yeah.
It's very drawn, but it's a question of the best
Yeah, maybe
practical chance.
maybe rook a2 want to play rook a5 or rook f5.
Yeah, and still doesn't help you.
Yeah.
You can only cause problems if you can somehow get your king to e5 and your rook on, say, d3, and then you're looking for, he's gone rook a2.
Yeah.
There are so many ways to hold.
I think black just wait.
It's one of many ways.
Yeah, the king move at f6, g6 is
No, you
okay.
can put the king on g6. It's one of many ways, and to keep the option to play rook f6.
Yeah.
But anything, really anything, will draw. Even rook d1 will draw. You know, just you don't even need to defend the rank.
And
Yeah.
I said that Huang Qian win this position twice, and how can she win like that? Because both of her opponents play like king e5, leave without their pawns, and then let her take more extra pawn.
Right.
Yeah, then she win the game.
Yeah.
So here, black just need to keep her king at
King e5. Okay. So this is it. So we're going to get this.
Yeah, it's for example.
Yeah. Now rook a5 check.
Yes.
Still a draw. Everything is drawn.
So just need to come back.
You can
okay.
you can play king f4, and that's also a draw.
Okay. Yeah.
Check king e3, also a draw.
Yes.
There is basically no way you can,
Yes.
not. There's no way you can fail to draw this.
Yes.
So even king e5 and just coming up
Oh yeah. So
it's very easy.
I think maybe she
Maybe
will
she's
play
going.
king
Maybe she's
f4.
going. Maybe she's just going to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get king against king.
Really?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Could be rook f5 check, king e3, rook takes g5, king takes
f3.
rook d5, rook takes d5, king takes g4, draw.
there's a question.
I think we have to. I think we have to ask for some more money for these long games, you know?
Okay.
Or at least some drinks.
Yeah.
That would be better.
There's a question. If there are only 2 rook on the board, left on the board.
Yeah.
One side is 1 king and 1 rook. The other side is both 1 king, 1 rook. And nobody offer draw. Can arbiter say that it's a draw game?
No.
No.
No, they can't.
Yeah. So they.
They can play another. They can play another 50 moves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, arbiters can't declare that a draw.
So rook f5 check. And do you think where should the king go?
Not that it makes any difference at all.
Yeah.
There is no.
She chose g3.
Yeah. Maybe she'll play king c5.
Yeah. But king c5, I just move my rook.
You mean you don't allow king takes rook? And that's
Yeah. Of course.
maybe king c5, rook a6,
Oh yeah.
and then we can play for a win. You know, rook takes g5, rook a5 check. What do you know?
Okay.
Well, I like it. I like it that we have fighting spirit.
Yeah.
I'm complaining about it because I'll probably miss my dinner again. But but actually, from a sporting point of view, it's very good that there is this, fighting spirit from Goryachkina.
Yeah.
So.
Just king c3.
Makes no difference whatsoever. I think this is clearly a strategy on her part.
Rook d8.
Yeah, it's clearly a strategy on her part that she's decided that she's going to play the maximum. She's thinking, okay, I'm younger than my opponents. I'm going to show that I'm not afraid of her. I'm going to push her to the end.
Yeah.
And even though this is not difficult at all, actually, to defend this position, just simply having to make more and more moves, just takes a little bit of energy out of you. And I think it's not important for this game, but maybe it's important during the course of the match. If she does this 3 or 4 times and just continues, and eventually this might take a little bit of energy away from her opponent, and you're always looking for that small advantage there.
Yeah, and she come back. Maybe it's repetition or.
No, I think she'll play rook takes g5. She's just repeating. Just let her opponent think about it.
Yeah, rook d7, I think. King c5.
Oh, now we're going to get my variation. King c5, rook a7.
Yeah, fighting for a win.
Yeah. there's basically no variation that wins. I mean, King H4 is a draw at any point here. You know, but Black can play King H4 if she wants to.
Yeah. But I think she just move her rook.
Rook, of course.
It's okay.
Of course.
Rook
of course.
A8.
Rook
And if
D8.
rook D8. And if you play King C6, just play rook D1, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just
But
move
also
them.
Rook D3 is good.
Oh, yes.
Force it.
Yeah. Oh, maybe here, just play rook D3.
Yeah, Rook D3. Play for a win.
Really? Yeah, it's a forcing.
She's
draw.
done it. Rook D3. She's
Yeah.
playing for the win.
Rook D3, rook D5,
King F3.
King F3.
And there's nothing that can be done because the king stays. I mean, there are many ways to draw, but
Oh, she takes it by rook.
okay, it doesn't make any.
It's okay because
It doesn't make any difference. But
Yeah.
she's threatening Rook F.
black can play King
Rook F-
H4 and rook G3 to take the G pawn.
Yeah, she can actually. That's a very clever way of doing it.
Rook G8. Maybe just King H4. Yeah, King H4.
For G5.
G5, rook F5 and rook G5.
Oh, okay. Just so simple. A little tactical way to play. And she's just removed it. G5 is the only chance. Go for it. We're getting a king against king.
Yeah.
And maybe some chance for dinner. The most important thing.
G5.
Not King H5. King H5 is starting to...
King H5 is also draw. Yeah, but not so direct.
It's also a draw.
Come on,
of course.
come on. No.
She
King
played
H5.
very strange. Push.
Push. If you push, I will play...
Rook F6.
King H6 is also...
Yeah, yeah, and then G7.
And then rook G3.
I was hoping for King H7 there, you know, that's
Yeah.
still a draw. Rook F8. This is all drawn. I mean, just everything is a draw. I'm trying to find a losing variation, but
It's hard.
it's very hard, yeah. We're trying helpmate. She's probably wondering why Rook F5 check.
I think maybe G6. Just a push. Yeah, push. Yeah, King H6.
G7 and Rook G3.
Yeah.
Oh, Rook F7.
Yeah.
I think they should play for king against king. I think it's the...
Maybe rook against rook.
No, I think king against king. Rook against rook is too exciting.
But king against king, the rook is the what's it? MIC the what?
She's moved to king, cross.
King d5.
Now there are some ways to lose, you know. Maybe
Really?
well, not even, you know. I mean, rook f5 check and rook g5, for example.
No.
That would be losing. This one looks quite drawish, I think. Rook g3.
Rook g3.
I think king e6. Go king e6.
Okay, e6.
Or rook h8 check. Rook h8 check.
Yeah, rook h8 check. But king g7. Yeah.
Come on, rook h8 check.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, king g7. Yeah.
This does look quite drawish.
Okay, come back. Rook h1. Okay, offer draw. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we'll allow them to make a draw there.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So after 3 games, the Women's World Championship final, it's all even, all level, 1.5 each, 3 draws. Again, we certainly had some excitement today, even though it perhaps went on a little bit long at the end. But
Yes.
earlier on, there were some very, very interesting moments. Probably, if I were to judge the match so far, it's probably slightly in Goryachkina's favour, but it doesn't matter. It's 1.5 points each, and furthermore, Ju has played 2 blacks, so she's got an extra white in her remaining games, so she has that practical advantage to come. So thanks again. Please join us tomorrow at 3:30 Shanghai time for the 4th round, and it's goodbye from me.
Okay, goodbye.